Welcome to day 410 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DeSoFi. And once again, I want to apologize for my lack of microphone today. My other one was delayed, so I had to cancel that order and order a new one. My new mic is coming and it should be here for Thursday's show. So you bear with us 2 more days, today and tomorrow. But Brian, do you want to get to today's diamond question of the day before we get to some of the news? And there's actually a good amount of news to talk about today.
Yeah, Ed's actually hiding out in the cave. He's afraid of, I guess he's afraid of centralized social media. So he's just hiding for now, but he doesn't want to admit it. But anyway,
That was a terrible joke.
let's,
Don't even think of a joke.
okay, let's get to the question of the day. Answer this question in the replies on DeSo under this video, and we'll give you 3 or 4 diamonds. And we'd like your reply. And today's question is the crypto bottom in? Why or why not? So is the crypto market done falling, or does it have more to go? And why or why not do you believe that? Personally, I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I think that there is strong support for Bitcoin at around $29,000 or so. It's bounced off that a couple of times. It's remained strong, but at the same time, the crypto market seems right now to be tied highly correlated with the NASDAQ and the US markets. So I think if the US markets drop further with inflation risk or poor inflation numbers, I think it could fall further. I don't see it dropping more than to say 24,000, but who knows really. One thing that you want to look for, Wednesday, there's a key inflation data point here in the United States. I think that if that is a number that isn't too high, I think that we could see the market bounce back a little bit, and that would probably bring the crypto market up as well.
And this isn't investment advice. It's funny because 2 things. Bitcoin and the stock market used to be uncorrelated. Like there's no correlation at all, maybe even opposite correlation. But now it's become very correlated. The other thing is that inflation, it's funny because, high inflation would mean the value of Bitcoin should go up, but people are looking at it as high inflation signaling that the Fed will keep increasing interest rates, which will cause markets like stock markets and Bitcoin and the housing market to go down. So it's kind of funny how this has changed over time.
Yeah, sure. It absolutely is. So like the top story, I think, is the DeSo price. The DeSo price hit $15.89 last night. It's bounced back somewhat. I think it's around $18, $19 right now.
But actually, just moments ago, it fell all the way to $14.17, but it quickly bounced back up. And it's like you said, at $16.50 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it to go this low. I kind of feel like we could be at a bottom here, but that's just my opinion. Unless something catastrophic happens or unless the crypto market in general continues to drop, I can't see it going too much lower, but that's just my opinion. I think that a lot of people have their emotions tied to the price of DeSo. When the price of DeSo drops, activity seems to slow up on the blockchain. It shouldn't be this way, but that's how emotions work. If the price started skyrocketing, people would be all excited and posting on DeSo nonstop, I'm sure. So hopefully this does not have a major impact on the rollout of DAO and the hard fork. Hopefully this doesn't put a damper on things, but it very well could, I think. So in my mind, I'm looking for a rebound in price, hopefully before that, but we don't know. We don't know what the markets are going to do.
I mean, $14.50, that's so low. Like, imagine where it has been. It was up. It was at $200 at one point. Now it's down to, well, right now it's at $16.87 as I speak, but it just fell to $14.50 about 20 minutes ago or so. So that's,
yeah. And something I want to point out, and I think I saw Zachary Brenner Doodles kind of echo this, and that's when the prices are super low like this, it's when you get the best development from behind the scenes. Like that's when all the developers are like, who cares about price? We're just going to work hard in this quiet period. And in that quiet period, it's when you get all these developments and all these people doing really cool things on the chain. We saw that with Ethereum and DeFi and all that before that big boom. And then once you get out of this lull or out of this crypto plunge of sorts, you have all of that development to back up further gains. And I think that if we did have a 3 to 4 month lull where the price remains between $15 and $20, it's not the end of the world. I think it might actually be a good thing. And I know at NFTZ, we're doing just that. We're using this quiet period to not feel rushed, not feel like we have to get something out immediately, but to take our time and really build something really solid. And I think a lot of teams are doing that.
Yeah, for sure. But let's move on. You touched on DeSo price. Bitcoin fell to 29,000, like you said, 29 something. It's rebounded to that 32,170 right now. But Time noted something yesterday, and that's that Diamond Hands, or Natter, made a post on GitHub saying that the hard fork date is set for approximately Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So that's not this coming Wednesday, it's the following Wednesday. So a week and a day from now, we're going to see that hard fork. And I think that's very significant because that's probably also meaning that DAO is going to be launching either then or shortly after that. Kind also did note that there's still quite a few issues that need to be resolved before this hard fork takes place. Notably, Postgres needs to be repaired. According to M. Van Halen, there's still issues with that. NFTZ is running Postgres significantly, but we use both, but we use a lot of Postgres, so we're hoping that gets fixed. Patern or Piotr said that he may be able to tweak the Badger database settings, which have been causing high memory requirements to run a node. And hopefully these tweaks will reduce these memory requirements, but that's yet to be seen. Hopefully it works out before the hard fork goes into effect. And also times that there's this weird snapshot hang. We talked about this earlier. It's hanging up when it's taking a snapshot. Hopefully that's resolved. I think that needs to be resolved before the hard fork can be implemented.
Yeah, and I actually saw a comment Natter made to Dharmesh yesterday, and it kind of confirmed what Tyne said about the timing of the hard fork. He said that in 2 weeks or so, the hard fork is going to be live. So definitely in the next 2 weeks, we're going to see some major changes on DeSo as long as there's no delays. It's going to be exciting, especially if you really follow the tech behind everything.
Yeah, and DAO probably soon thereafter.
Yeah, and I'm excited about DAO. I'm also excited about getting DAO like into the open so that the core team can kind of once again concentrate on some other stuff that might need concentrating on. I know there's some people that are frustrated that a lot of the attention is just all on DAO right now. And Natter has a plan. I mean, I don't fault him for that, but I think some people feel like some other things might have been forgotten.
Yeah, and daily active users are way down, so I think people are concerned about that as well.
Yeah. So GD Virtual Galleries, they made an announcement yesterday or early this morning that they're collaborating with Seals, Disruptpreneur, and Sir Guy on something pretty big. It's a new gallery, but it's going to be a really interactive gallery, I'm told. And they said inside their gallery, users will be able to connect, create, discover, learn, explore, and more. And it's going to be a killer experience. We don't have more details quite yet, but Seals and Sir Guy and Disruptpreneur, they're working on a DAO actually too. So I'm looking forward to this. I think that these two groups working together, GDS and the Seals team, going to do some pretty cool things.
Yeah, Seals actually showed me a sneak peek of some of what they're doing. It's really phenomenal. It looks awesome. I think you're going to love it. It's interactive, like they said. We'll see. But also, there's a big NFT drop that's coming today between DeSo and D Wales. That drop is today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's a collab between those two artists. The auction is going to last 24 hours. So 1 p.m. today Eastern time to 1 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time will be the auction. The winner also gets a free D Wales mint, and D Wales has a big series that they're dropping soon. 440 D-Whales NFTs. So you'll get a free one of those if you win this auction.
Yeah, and I think this is like one of the first like really big drops we've seen in a while. Not that these other drops we've seen aren't big, but I think that the NFT ecosystem, the NFT market on DeSo has dried up significantly in the last couple of months. But hopefully this can kind of reignite things. And I think as we move forward and as people from other chains start exploring DeSo, I think it's very likely that the NFT space on DeSo will pick back up. A lot of that's going to have to do with what's being developed, what developers are working on to kind of merge people from outside of DeSo onto DeSo. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this auction goes.
Yeah, it's exciting, and we'll see. It'll be nice to see the NFT space pick up a little bit on DeSo. But speaking of NFTs, CloudPunk, as we mentioned before, they're actually working on an Ethereum-based NFT series called the Arctic Fox Pups. And they plan to launch minting on May 15th. So that's just 5 days from now. They're going to be launching the minting. If you join their Discord, you can get a free mint if you say you're from DeSo. They actually have a folder on their Discord for OGs. All you do is put your wallet ID in there and you'll get a free mint. Otherwise, if you're on the whitelist, you're going to be mint as many as you want for just 0.003 ETH, which is $7 approximately. So it's still a good deal, whether you get the free one or not. 3/1000th of an ETH is a pretty good steal for a ETH NFT from an artist like CloudPunk. So definitely check that out. You can see the link above this video on DeSo where you can join the Discord and share your wallet with them.
Yeah, I love it. I love that they were very open to the DeSo community about what they were doing. Of course, some people are going to take it like, oh, they're leaving DeSo, or they're leaving DeSo in the dust and moving on to another blockchain. But that's not really what they're doing. They're still minting on DeSo. The CloudPunk series is alive and well. They just need to make some money and pay for the time they're spending on doing this art. And right now, DeSo is very slow and it's not easy to sell NFTs in bulk on DeSo right now. So way to go, CloudPunk. They're still sticking around. I think that when all is said and done, they probably will return to DeSo in a big way. And those NFTs that they originally created, the CloudPunk series, I think they will hold significant value. Not investment advice, but they are the first actual NFT series on DeSo.
Yeah, and that's why I love them too. But Supernovas has some news today as well, Brian.
Yeah, so Supernovas, they planned on Monday, yesterday, to have a kind of like a video conference with people who wanted to learn about the tokenomics of their DAO, which is really important because I think tokenomics, when you're considering a DAO, tokenomics is the number one thing. You want to know how everything works, what the inflation might be, how voting rights may work, all of that. But they ran into a scheduling conflict yesterday, so they are going to drop a video dedicated to understanding the tokenomics of Supernova's DAO sometime later today. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm really interested to hear about what they're doing, how the tokenomics works. And I just want to say it's an open invitation for anybody on the Supernovas team to come on our show and talk about it as well sometime next week or the week after if it works for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. That would be cool. And so in other news outside of DeSo, Meta, of course, the company behind Facebook and Instagram, announced that Instagram will support NFTs from Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, and Flow. No DeSo yet, but they are supporting these NFTs, and it's going to allow users to showcase these NFTs by connecting their MetaMask or other wallets to Instagram. So, I mean, I think this is a huge step for the mainstream adoption of NFTs. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be a free service where you can showcase your stuff for free. It's not like Twitter where they're charging you to have the TFT. We'll see how it goes, see if it catches on, see if it annoys people. I know like a lot of the Discord users really got annoyed when NFTs kind of swamped Discord. So we'll see, like, does this turn people off on Instagram? Does it get people excited on Instagram? Does it bring more people from the Instagram crowd into the NFT space, it's yet to be determined, but we shall find out.
Yeah, something that stands out to me about this news is that as like a test, or I mean, this is kind of like a beta, you know, they're just starting with NFTs. They're going to probably judge how the market reacts. But the fact that they're using other chains other than just Ethereum as this like beta is impressive and important to me, because it's saying to me that they realize that Ethereum isn't the sole chain for NFTs, and that the market's expanding and it's going to be multi-chain. And that's good news for DeSo. Right now, of course, the NFT market on DeSo is pretty sluggish, but as you see someone like Meta adopting integration with these other chains, I think that's big, and it gives us hope that DeSo could be one of those chains that they could support sometime in the near future if everything works
Yeah,
out.
it's worth noting that I'm not sure if they're going to just launch with Ethereum at first and then add the other chains, or if they're going to launch with all of them at once. I'm kind of leaning to, the idea that they're probably going to start with one, and it'll probably be Ethereum at first. They didn't say for sure, so I'm not sure either. I don't think anybody really knows yet until more information's released from Meta, and they haven't actually released anything yet in regards to this. But it's exciting, like it kind of makes Story app. It kind of, I guess it backs up their idea that
Legitimizes it, yeah.
that's the word I was looking for. Legitimizes Story's idea, and the Design Star sisters, along with Ribal, who are creating Story, that NFTs and social can kind of go together. And I know Story is not going to be exactly like Instagram, but it's the whole idea of bringing that crowd over. And because NFTs are free to mint essentially on DeSo, I think Story has a lot of potential, because on Instagram, I don't think you're going to be able to mint NFTs from Instagram, at least not in the near future, maybe later down the line. But on Story, you're going to be able to do that. So, I think it's people who might get interested in NFTs through Instagram might come over to Story because they want to learn how to quickly and easily mint in that social realm of NFTs.
Yeah, totally agree.
But anyhow, Anku yesterday posted a screenshot on Discord, and then Pearl actually posted that same screenshot on DeSo as a teaser for their app. And many of us have been waiting for its first gen, and they rebranded as Pearl, waiting for Pearl to be released, because it's this highly funded project on the DeSo blockchain that seems to be kind of like an Instagram-like node that a lot of people have been hoping for. And yesterday, Pearl, along with a screenshot that they posted, I'll talk about in a second, they made a post saying,
"Hey, why don't I read it, since you sound like you're in a cave?"
Okay.
They actually posted, like many apps before us, and likely many more, we're running into our own delays with the Apple App Store. We're doing our best to resolve this as quickly as we can. Our team has been working on Pearl for months, and there's no group of people who want to release this app more. We're sorry our release has taken longer than any of us have expected. While we wish we had a launch date to share, here's a peek of some of what we're really excited about. And then
your reading is terrible. I think people would have rather listened to me reading in a cave than your slow, sputtery reading.
Hey, Ed, watch for bat droppings in the cave, because they can carry diseases.
All right, so anyhow, the screenshot, if you understood what Brian read without getting distracted by his awkwardness, they posted a screenshot, and it showed images that were being posted on Pearl, like kind of like in the same format Instagram does it, but some of them were locked and said subscribe to unlock this content. So I see it as being kind of like an Instagram, but where the person making the post can lock certain content. And if you want to buy that content, you can subscribe to become a member, kind of like OnlyFans. So it's interesting. I think it has so much potential, especially to bring not just social media, Instagram influencers over to DeSo, but also the OnlyFans crowd over to DeSo, which I think is amazing if you can get all those people interested in the blockchain and in using the Pearl app. But Happy Penguin, he's also one of the co-founders of Pearl, we replied, and he said that they've figured out a way how to get around the violating Apple's terms when it comes to diamonds. So as many of you know, you can't diamond on the Apple App Store because they view it as tipping outside of their monetization methods. Tipping doesn't pay Apple, so Apple doesn't want you making money unless they're getting a cut. But they think they figured out a way around this. So I'm excited to see how they do that, because I think it would be very helpful for other apps like CloudFeed and other apps that are out there like NFTs.
Yeah, and I know that Rabal said that he's working on a way around it as well. So I think it's important that we're going to get to see these workarounds, because that will drive forward other apps on the Apple App Store. But yeah, like I see from what Pearl posted, I see them kind of I see what they're doing as kind of a cross between OnlyFans and something like Patreon, at least for the subscription model. Everything else is kind of like I guess like an Instagram, Snapchat like system. But yeah, I think it could really work. I know everybody wants some sort of subscriptions on DeSo. It might not be at the core level, but it will be at the node level. I'm really excited about this. I think both them and Story have the potential to really drive onboarding of new users.
Yeah, for sure. So you want to tell us what the top hashtags of the last 24 hours have been?
Yeah, the top hashtags are kind of boring, kind of ones we've seen already in the past. Number one was DeSo, followed by music, photography, NFT, and Bitcoin. And the top diamonded creators over the last 24 hours, those hashtags, of course, are thanks to Open Prosper. The Open Prosper top earners, that is not working currently. They're having some issues with syncing. They're waiting to hear from Natter on a few things, I believe. Good luck, Salil, on getting that corrected. But the top diamonded creators over the last 24 hours, number one, it was us actually. Like, I'm not here to brag about that, but it was us, followed by Natter, It's Aditya, Dr. Rob, Sean Slater, Stargeezer, The Devil, Darian Parrish, Tyne, and Photographer's Corner. And I like actually doing these top diamond ones because it kind of shows you who the most active people are. And a lot of times it's a lot of the OGs.
Yeah, and welcome back to May Beam, who came back to DeSo after a 37-day absence.
Wait, I got to get this out.
What she did was she just came on to authorize a derived key. So I don't know exactly what that involved or what she was doing. She didn't make a post. She didn't like anything. She didn't download anything. She authorized a derived key. So maybe Salil Sethi can tell us exactly what she did. If he's listening to this, I'm just interested. What is she authorizing it for? But 2 community events today, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Crypto Talks with Darian Parrish on Chime In. Definitely a great room to attend. And at 2 p.m. Eastern time, there's a DeSo meetup in VR Alt Space on Alt VR. So definitely check those out. And I believe that's all the news we have for today. And everybody have a great rest of your Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, right? And talk to you tomorrow.